Fangraphs top 100 prospect list dropped, there were 2 Padres on it, Jackson Merrill, Samuel Zavala. Zavala was ranked 84th, and let me see, Merrill was ranked, I got to write it here, 10th. So not a lot of Padres on there. No Dylan Lesko. I think it's probably because they haven't seen him. They want to see how he looks after surgery, stuff like that. But Isaac, what were your thoughts on, first off, the Padre guys being on there? I feel like we're starting to get a lot of hype for Zavala. I think that's super cool. We've talked about him. He's 18 years old right now. So you don't really see guys when they're 16, 17 in that top 100 list early on. I feel like Zavala is kind of a guy where it looks like that's what Salas is going to be like, where he's going to get in when he's 18 years old, where he's still a teenager and he's going to reach that top 100 list. But I think that we've seen how this Padres farm has consistently looked, where sometimes it doesn't look like they have a lot of crazy prospects. And then as these guys get older, they just shoot all the way up because they have absurd tools. Zavala's a guy like that. Jackson Merrill's a guy like that as well. Padres, that middle farm, they might not be very good at developing that, but it does feel like they're able to either trade guys or maybe not develop them, but mostly trade them. But they're able to get them to a point where they're worth a lot in terms of prospect capital. And it seems like they have 2 studs right there. So what do you think about those 2 guys and anyone else that isn't mentioned on that list that's a Padres prospect right now?
Yeah, I don't know too much about all I know about Samuel Zavala is he's high velocity, he's young, and he's got a lot of potential. Um, so I mean, him being 84th at such a young age is obviously very impressive, and it's a sign that he's only going to shoot up in his future. I think the more impressive thing is Jackson Merrill, kind of already being a top. What was he, number 10? A top 10 prospect on, at least on Fangraphs. Very impressive. I mean, apparently the only person in that tier that kind of how can I say it, has similarities or rivals his hit tool is the guy we traded away, James Wood. They both have 70 hit tool type thing. I think they both have 70 hit tool. So 2 of the best hitters in all of minor, I guess you could say minor league baseball, but 2 of the best hitting prospects in all of baseball right now. But Jackson Merrill, I mean, he seems like a very fun player. You see him in kind of those spring training videos. He seems like a very fun, personable person. And I'm excited to see where he goes because I think they've kind of made it a priority to say, like, I don't think they want to trade Jackson Merrill. I think they have a plan to kind of throw him at second, throw him at third, whatever they got to do. But he's kind of a player that I think can play a little all over the field. Clearly is showing the hitter's tool that we kind of desire. He's put on some muscle. He's bulking up, and I think he's going to be a very valuable player for the Padres. I think one of the main things AJ Preller has said recently is that along with the stars on this team, the stars that require a lot of money, AJ Preller does want to incorporate some youth. He wants to get Jackson Merrill up there to be a quality player. Same thing with Luis Campusano, hopefully Ryan Weathers as well. He wants to get some of these young guys in there because we're going to need them. He knows we're going to need them. So Jackson Merrill rising up this fast is incredible. Ethan Salas is supposed to play in spring training, I guess. So, I mean, that was fast. Great for him. He's going to be someone that's going to be on that prospects list real soon. Dylan Lesko at 103, something like that. So just outside of the top 100. By this time next year or in 2 years, he's going to be hopefully top 50. I think he is that good. Has an amazing changeup. So I'm very excited to see what these prospects do. Gil brought up DeVries. I think that's how you say his name. He's one of the best. I guess he's like the best international prospect since Wander Franco, something like that. So all these players that were traded away by the Padres from the farm system, it is being replenished really fast. And that's something that us and a lot of other people were saying is that even though Preller's dishing out a lot of prospects to go get these star players, he's going to be able to replenish them really fast because this is what he's really good at doing. This is what he came up doing. So a lot of props to AJ Preller, man. He's doing a fantastic job.
Yeah, and you look at that DeVries, I think that's how you say it. Top prospect, Salas top prospect, Lesko, like steal of the draft, as a lot of people feel like. All of a sudden, those are 3 high-end prospects that you add after the farm system was supposedly completely gutted and the worst in the MLB. It's going to be a mid-tiered farm in a couple of years. Like, it definitely will be.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. That's what I'm kind of thinking there. In terms of other guys, I think you said for Zavala, you said high velo. You're thinking of Susanna, huh?
Oh yes, that's right.
Susanna
That's right.
okay, because I was thinking I mixed up their names earlier today too. Actually, Zavala is the outfielder. He's pretty athletic. He has
Oh
some pop.
yeah. Okay. I see what you're
Yeah,
saying.
yeah, yeah.
I remember now.
Susanna though, yeah, Susanna's gone. But yeah, Zavala's there, and then apparently Lesko was ranked like 107 or 110, something like that. And then I see a bunch of these comments. Hassel fell. Hassel's not in the top 100. He
Oh, yeah.
completely fell off after he got traded. And yeah, I don't know. It's crazy. Remember when everyone had Hassel over James Wood, and then James Wood in the trade, like it was very clear that the Nationals viewed James Wood as the best player, and then they trade him, and then sure enough, James Wood is third. Hassel's out of the top 100. That's wild because like last offseason this time they were flipped.
Yeah. It's honestly really crazy to see how fast like this whole prospect stuff happened. Same thing happened to Mackenzie Gore. Maybe not that drastic, but same exact thing happened to Mackenzie Gore. Went from being a top 5 overall prospect in baseball to falling down to like the 50s on MLB. And I don't know what he fell down to on other sides, but he fell down really, really fast. It is crazy seeing how fast, I guess, life flips on you. I mean, I don't know what else to really say. But yeah, James Wood, I mean, his ascension to being one of the best prospects in baseball, it was inevitable. I think he has loads and loads and loads of raw potential, raw power. Maybe not even raw power anymore. He's already kind of developing to a player that everyone thinks is going to be a star outfielder. He's a monster. He's like 6'7", maybe even taller than that. I don't know how much he weighs, but he is a monster. And for that size, he is still a pretty fast player. So he projects to be a good outfielder. He projects to be a great power hitter. So, a lot of props to James Wood. I'm excited to see how he does. Shoot, I'm excited to see how all those players do. James Wood, Mackenzie Gore, CJ Abrams, Robert Hassel. But I am one that pauses at making comparisons in like James Wood is the next this, James Wood is the next that, James Wood can be this good because the prospects are insanely volatile, super. So, I was actually having a small conversation with someone on Twitter today because they were like, inevitably, we're gonna lose this Juan Soto trade, and I was like, how? I don't think it's inevitable that we lose this Juan Soto trade. We're 2 years away from finding that out. Look, the odds of any of those players becoming Juan Soto, crazy minimal, crazy minimal. So, in no way, shape, or form did we lose that trade. Are we going to lose that trade? One World Series, even if we go to one, I'll consider it a win. If Juan Soto wins one MVP here, or even finishes top 5, I'll consider it a win because the odds of those other players doing it are not very high. Not only that, the Nationals what are the odds of them re-signing those guys, even if they're good?
That's a good point. Also, you said you didn't want to comp James Wood to anyone. If you had to comp him, there's like a clear comp, right?
Oh God, everyone's gonna say Aaron Judge, huh?
Well, yeah, but like a more like slimmed
It's
down
because of
version.
his size.
I think Aaron weighs a little bit more than him, a little bit stronger. But he's a center fielder. Like Judge is a center fielder. They just don't want to play him in center field because that's really reckless to do with a guy that's hitting 60 plus home runs. I don't think he's gonna become that. But like, who do you think people want to see, dude? Because that was like Judge coming out like he wasn't as. I mean, actually, kind of similar. He was picked like 30th, and Wood was a second rounder. So that is the comp that everyone's gonna say, though.
Of course, it's inevitable.
Some comps are easy, bro. Some comps like, oh, he's a 6'7", 250 center fielder.
Aaron Judge.
Aaron Judge. There it is.
Literally.
But yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to see what other guys I that caught my eye. What's his name? Where is it? Corbin Carroll. Corbin Carroll is going to be raw.
He's a top 5 prospect right now. What was he on Fangraphs?
He's number 2. Gunnar Henderson's 1.
Yeah.
Gunnar Henderson, Corbin Carroll, James Wood, And then it goes off. Drew Jones is ranked 8th
Oh wow,
already.
that's pretty good. Yeah, that is really good.
It's
What the
really
hell?
early. But dude, there's a lot of sweet prospects. Like a
Yeah,
lot of names that are like pretty like, oh yeah, that guy's gonna be really good. Most
yeah,
likely.
yeah, yeah. What about
Um,
what about Matt Holiday's kid? What was his name? Jackson Holiday?
Jackson
Was he on
Holiday.
there?
Oh, he's up there
Yeah.
too. He's 9th.
Bro, they just got drafted.
Dude,
Oh
I
my
know.
god.
Isn't that crazy?
What about what's his name? Tramar. He just got drafted by the Pirates. I forgot his name, but yeah, man, there's a lot of good prospects coming up. This past draft was a really deep draft. This upcoming so it's good to see. Hopefully Lesko pans out. Because God knows we need pitching.
By the way, Tamar Johnson, infielder,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
he's 21st.
24. Oh wow, that's pretty good too.
Yeah, the rookies are way up there.
Yeah, they're
It
up there.
usually takes them a little bit. That's what I was thinking too.
Yeah.
Oh, what happened to Joshua Mears? Someone's asking. He's just been hurt, right?
No, I
Has
think he
he been
just
hurt?
I
No,
honestly
Onya's
don't know.
been hurt,
I think he
but
just
he was
sucks.
hurt too.
I don't know. I think he might just have fell off. I mean, he had his little stint.
Yeah. It's because, well, I think it was like batting practice of him, and everyone's like, oh my God.
Yeah, it's just bad. Like, oh my God. I just saw him hit one pitch 500 feet. Like, bro, you don't understand how often this dude strikes out.
Oh, yeah. He didn't get hurt. He just moved up and down a bunch last year. So he started in rookie ball, then he went to high A, and then he went to San Antonio. And then in San Antonio, he hit under 160.
Oh,
Only 83 at bats, though. So this is a
mm,
big year for him in terms of developing, too. He
yeah.
just doesn't hit.
Yeah, he doesn't hit.
He
Yeah.
does walk, though. He
He
walks a
has
lot.
power. It's cool to have
He
power.
walks a lot
But...
and has good power.
Oh God, it's Joey Gallo, isn't it? That's the new comp. Oh, I heard the Gallo comp.
That's a good one. Apparently, Gil says he regained some form late in Double A last season. Okay. Yeah, he definitely. Let's see. Who else are you guys looking at? I want to see. Has Campy graduated? Yeah, Campy's. I'm pretty sure Campy's graduated.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Solace is going to outplay. What do you think of this one? Solace is going to outplay Campy in all this spring training, become the starting catcher. I mean, it's not going to happen, but it's a fun. It's a fun
That
comment.
is funny. That is funny. That would be lovely if he outplayed them.
He might outplay them, but they're not going to start him.
Yeah, they're not going to start him.
Can you even start a guy if he's under 18 years old?
I mean, probably.
That would be insane. That would be really crazy.
Can you imagine being 16, 17 years old going up against Max Scherzer or Justin Verlander?
You're literally a kid. It's already crazy enough when you see a guy like 21 or 22.
Yeah, it's crazy for me to see like Fernando going up against those guys.
Yeah. He needs a worker's permit. He's only allowed to play like a certain amount of innings because he has like a time restriction.
It's like when you're working, and if you're in high school, in California at least, if you're working in high school, you can only work the weekends.
Yeah.
And I think you can only work 4 hours a day.
He gets 2 games a week. Yeah. So he is going to be in some games. That's crazy. Apparently Solace's at bats in spring were like really
stupid.
Good.
Yeah, they're really good.
Dude, if he's a guy that could come in and catch at like 18 or something, that would, and like be a good player, that would be so huge for the Padres timeline if they just added like superstar.
Yeah. Hopefully,
because he gets talked about like that. He doesn't get talked about like, oh, this guy, like, even like other guys that are good, like even like Jackson Merrill, Dylan Lesko, Zavala, right? Like he doesn't get talked about like that. He talks like he is like premium blue chip talent, like best of the best.
Yeah.
You know, like
it'd be great.
It's pretty crazy.
I like 20 or 19. I feel like 19
is so young.
I think 20. I think 20 or 21 is the key spot because I mean catchers do take a much longer time. Which is why I've never understood like the frustration with Campy, because he's going to take a long time. Catchers do tend to take a lot longer than other players. So, we'll see. Salah's up in his second year, isn't out of the realm at all.
That's interesting.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Gil, I know you know ball well though, so
Yeah, Gil does. Yeah.
that just seems super early. And then everyone says if Salah's debuts 18 with your contract, I'm down with that. I mean, what are you supposed to do at that point? You have to, right?
Yeah, you have to.
He'll be in like year like 6, just getting like underpaid out of his mind.
Exactly. Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, you got to do the Braves move.
But yeah, people are hyped about him. Yeah, it's crazy. He's 16 years old. That's insane.
Yeah, and the crazy thing is, if the verbal agreement goes through, then he might not even be the top prospect. It'll be DeVries. Apparently,
that's true. That's wild. Their farm could look a lot better.
Dude, it's so crazy. He's so good at this.